Welcome back, everyone. My name is Alex Anthony, and today I'm bringing you episode 4 of Break the Deck. So I got to finish up the Battle Academy. We've got our 3 decks available, and I've done the Cinderace deck, the Pikachu deck, and today we've got the Eevee deck left. And I didn't really go in any particular order, but I'm kind of glad I did for the reasons why I did. This might be a little bit shorter of a video overall because my general consensus on this deck is I probably wouldn't play it. Like, say you were given the Battle Academy, or you bought it or whatever, you're in possession of it, and you have the 3 decks available as a choice. I just can't see why I would ever choose this deck unless you feel like you are significantly better than the other person that you're playing, and you want to give them some kind of fair shot. Because this deck, it does not have a lot going for it. I'm just going to put it that way. It's a really tough deck. Like, breaking this down didn't even take that long because it's like, wow, this is bad. I would say this is the worst Battle Academy deck I've seen so far, like of the 6 we've been given, because we had the GX version for Battle Academy 1, this is Battle Academy 2, and I think that overall this is just the least, it is the most lackluster of, I feel like that's such a runaround way of saying it doesn't, it got no sauce. It's got no flash, it's got nothing good about it, really. I mean, like, the real big kick of this deck is the Eevee, and it's got the Brave Buddies attack. Also, by the way, I'm doing this all on the PTCGO versus I did the first 2 on physical, like just cards, just showing you the cards. And I realized that when I put the code in, it gave me these decks on the PTCGO. So instead of like trying to get the cards in focus and this and that, I'm just going to use the online to dictate the physical deck. So this is all for, you know, mainly physical play, really. Even though I'm using the online to dictate the cards, I just felt like it was an easier way to actually showcase what I'm trying to get across with these decks. So in the future, I'm actually going to try and do most, if not all of these on the PC, so I can click around instead of actually just having the physical cards in my hands and searching through the decks. So the main kick of this deck is the Eevee. First attack, 1 energy is okay, it's fine, draw 3 cards. The retreat, 1 retreat, that's cool. 190 HP, that's fine. This is it. This is all you get. 3 energy, Brave Buddies. If you played a supported card from your hand during this turn, this deck does 80 more damage for a cap of 160. And you're playing against 2 Pokemon that have much more, you know, 2 Pokemon V in the Pikachu and Cinderace that have more than, a lot more than 160. So you're not going to one-shot anything, basically. You have no boss's orders in this deck. But I guess while we're here, I will break it down just like we've done before. Starting with the energy, 18 as always. 18 is just like a staple number you're going to see in a lot of these level 1 Pokemon TCG decks that the Pokemon Company builds and then kind of ships off to the public. And now let's go to the Pokemon and then we'll go to the trainer cards. I think that makes the most sense in this particular instance. So we've already gone over the Eevee. Cool, you're going to want to get that out. I would say probably like more mid-game, because you're going to need the 3 energy to build it up. So you're going to need something to go first, then build up your Eevee on the side. Hopefully that's your main plan. One of the things, if not the main thing that I think you're going to want to have go first, is going to be your Carvanha, because your Carvanha is going to then evolve into your Sharpedo. And the best thing about Sharpedo is this is your best attacker. This is honestly one of your best early game attackers. You got 2 energy, gives you 70 damage, and you've got 100 HP, 1 retreat. That's about as good as you're going to get with this deck. Don't expect to see too much more from here because it does not look great. You get 1 Darkrai. I think that's, how many? Well, you get 2 Darkrai. I'm sorry, so this is 3-2 count. You get 3-2 of the Carvanha Sharpedo, and then you get 2 of the Darkrai in this deck. It's tough because I have to go off of like what I have down here, and then I have to click back here to see what you get in here versus what I actually have in my collection. So you get 2 Darkrai in the deck, and this is just awful. This card is horrible. This is one of the worst cards I've ever seen included in a Battle Academy deck. I think they're just like making this hard mode by putting a card like this in here. It's just, okay, so you got 110 HP for a basic, that's great. And everything is downhill from there. 3 energy for 90, just not 90, for not even 100, just for 90. Ugh, awful. 2 energy retreat, that's just bad in a deck like this. It's just bad. So this is going to basically be what I would consider maybe, you put it up there for like a sacrifice and you need like a turn or 2. That's going to be its best use, honestly. I could just click right, I keep forgetting. Galarian Zigzagoon will be, can't really attack on its own. You know, the flip 4 coins, pin missile, whatever, 70 HP. 2 retreat is terrible. For all of this, that's pretty bad. It should have only 1 retreat, in my opinion. The Galarian Lanoon doesn't really get much better, honestly. Like, you get 2 energy, but then you have to damage yourself 20, which I absolutely hate. And then the Galarian Obstagoon, which is 3 energy, 180, which is fantastic, you know, cool, great. Like, now we can actually do some damage against the Pokemon V. You know, you hit him with something small, then bring in the Galarian Obstagoon, but discard 2 energy. That hurts so much, and it's a 2 energy retreat. So if you attack with this, next turn you have to either do one of 2 things, you know, get a switch card or something, or put an energy on it and switch it out, and then you are, you know, now rebuilding it from the start. And if you use the stage 2 attack, you know, you're gonna have done 20 damage to yourself. So that's why I don't like that. So when you're at 170, you're really at 150, which is still actually really nice for a deck like this to have HP of that size. So it honestly does set you up with this 170 that you can use this attack a couple of times. But yeah, it's not great to have to damage yourself like that. And then it ends off on the Pokemon with the Zorua, which is really nothing. Like, you're just gonna be putting this out here to get the Zoroark built up, which is, I mean, I don't like having to flip 2 coins. That's not going to really net you too much, too often. And then the Night Daze attack, 100 for 3 energy, is it's 1 more, you know, 10 more damage, you know, 1 more damage counter. So if this is awful, then this is awful plus, you know, a little bit awful, like minus. Just take a little bit off, so it's pretty bad. So overall, I would say your early game, you're trying to get the Carvanha Sharpedo out while you build up your Eevee on the bench, while you get a Zigzagoon, Lanoon, Obstagoon line out there, and then overall, your Zorua and Zoroark will come in when you need them to. You might just have to like kind of gamble and just get out the stage 1, the Zoroark, use the 1 energy, and just start flipping, you know, 2 coins. I mean, if you can get the 80, that's not bad. If you can, you're going to average 40 with it, but 40 is not bad. You have 120 HP. The 2 retreat, man, like, you don't get any deals on any of these Pokemon. I feel like they're all 2 retreat except for the Eevee and the Carvanha, Sharpedo. Okay, so everything else is, yeah, those are the only, I mean, you don't get a lot of Pokemon in this deck to begin with, but they are all, okay, you get 1 retreat for the Zorua. Ugh, it's tough. You know, they're not giving you a lot. And so for the trainers, you get the 4 Great Ball, which we've seen before. You know, it's pretty much a staple in these kinds of decks. They're not going to give you anything too good, and they're not going to give you anything too awful. Although, like, this is pretty bottom of the barrel ball, honestly. Like, this is pretty much, like, of all the balls that I've seen, like, legally, like, Great Ball's pretty much the worst one. I mean, maybe Pokeball is, like, worse, debatably. But they're, like, now that we have, you know, Ultra Ball back, and, you know, you have Quick Ball and Level Ball, like, it's just clearly the worst one. So they give you the worst one in this format, but they all have it, so that's fine. Switch, same thing, cool, standard staple card. Bug Catcher and Hop. See, now this is where this deck gets a little bit crazy. This deck actually has 14 supporters. You got that right, 14 supporters. I think the other ones usually have like 10, I counted, and 14 is just a lot, because now you go from having 6 combination Bug Catcher and Hop, which you normally do. You normally has 4 Hop and 2 Bug Catcher, to now you have the 8, the 4/4. You get 1 Cook. This is your only sauce, pun intended. I mean, this is the only flavor. This is the only thing that you get in the deck. I mean, you get to heal 70 from your active Pokemon, so maybe, just maybe, you can heal that Eevee. And so maybe if you can get that heal 70 off, and then have that 70 also boost your 80, that's like the one play you can do with this deck to make it kind of maximize what it's got going for it. It's got the Pierce, which is a new card to decks like this, but it's pretty, I would say, basic overall. It's similar to like Irida for water decks, just not quite as useful because it gives you an energy card and not a trainer card, or item card, I guess it is. Yeah, it's an item card for Irida. But it gets you the Pokemon specifically of Darkness, which is also why, another thing that I didn't mention yet, but it's a little, I questioned why they gave Darkness to the Eevee deck. Like, you got Eevee, which is like adorable, like sure, a little fierce in this V art, but then like nothing about Eevee said Darkness to me. So I was just curious why they went with Darkness. Like, you had, let's see, Electric and Fire, so you don't want to go with Fighting, and you don't want to go with Water, but like you could have gone with, I guess you don't want to go with Grass. So you could have gone with Psychic, which they did with the last one, I guess. So they're just trying to be different from the last one. But why not go all colorless? They could have gone all colorless. So like, there's no reason why they had to change that up. Maybe because it's black border on the V card, but I thought that was a little weird why they even went with dark to begin with. I only mentioned that because I'm going over Pierce. I'm like, oh yeah, this is a dark deck technically, even though it's an Eevee V deck. But yeah, get your darkness Pokemon, which it's funny that you have one support that'll help you get a Pokemon, and that Pokemon is not the star of the deck in EVV. One trainer card you do have that will help you get that Eevee out there is Sonia. This is definitely a deck that, or I'm sorry, yeah, definitely a deck. Because in the first deck that we covered, I mentioned that we would want to use it to get Pokemon. In the second deck, I said we would want to use it to get, you know, either or. In this deck, it's another one where you're going to want to use it to get the basic Pokemon and almost always use the Sonia to be like your EVV card. And you got the Shauna, which is cool. You got the 3 of them, which is it's a great supporter card. You know, shuffle in, draw 5. So that'll help you out a lot. But yeah, overall very lackluster. So another cool thing about being on the app is I can do some test runs with the decks and just show you guys some beginning hands and situations and this and that. Maybe turn it down a little bit. And this way I can actually show you guys like some opening hands and what it looks like to, you know, like, you know, say you're playing with your friend and you both got the Battle Academy, you want to test out what is it like to actually play a game Pokemon. Well, this is what a starting hand may look like. You may get 4 energies and a Great Ball and a Galarian Zigzagoon, and in that case your only starter is the Zigzagoon, so we're going to start that. And then this is why being on the app is so nice, because it does all this stuff for me, so I don't have to shuffle or do anything. I can just, you know, concede and then redraw and then do everything again. So if this is our first turn of the game, say we're, oh well, I guess, yeah, our first turn of the game, they already went first because they attached an energy. We would then, let's bench our other Zigzagoon. We don't have to, but we can. Let's use our Great Ball, and let's grab, ooh, an EVV, why not? Now, if we could, our main goal would be to get this Zigzagoon out of the active spot and then get EVV in the active spot and use its collect attack to draw 3 cards. Since we can't, so what we're gonna need to do basically is put 2 energy on to get our goal. We can only attach 1 energy per turn. So do we attach the energy to the EVV, getting it ready for next turn, or do we attach the energy to Galarian Zigzagoon? Oh, we would need 2 for the retreat. Oh my god, that's why this deck is tough. Ugh. Well, the choice for me initially was going to be attached to the Galarian Zigzagoon so that we can attack this turn with Pin Missile and then use that energy to retreat. So we're going to actually need 3 energy if we want to build up that kind of thing. So what I think we should do in this instance is kind of, maybe, that was so funny, you folks saw me clicking that. that's this program, that ain't me. I'm going to maybe consider the Zigzagoon like a sacrificial Pokemon, so we got to keep it up there, because to retreat it, if retreating it in the discarding the 2 energy would be too, call it like, what's the term? Too many resources. It's too damaging. Like, you can't be putting on all that energy just to take it off. Did he discard our energy with that? Oh, is that the supported? Yeah, supported discards the energy. Playing against this, like, what you call it, test thing is funny because you're playing against like older cards, and I just don't know what half of these things do. But this whole break the deck thing is essentially if you're using the EVV deck to play against other, you know, V decks, the Pikachu or the Cinderace. So just imagine your opponent on the opposite side of this would be having those decks. But this is just a simulation, so to speak. So in that, you know, our opponent would not have had the chance to discard our energy, so we would have still been able to like proceed. But for the beginning part of the game, like, we're not gonna be able to get too far because once again we're not playing against the exact same decks. Like, that's like where my basic plan would have been, would be to attack with this to keep going. So like, this deck is so weak, like, we're actually, like, we would lose to this basic test thing, like, that you should really never lose to. Like, your deck should never be that bad that it ever loses to this. But I thought the fun thing about it would be just to keep clicking the test deck thing a few times, just to see what kind of starting hands we get, and like how I would lead with them, and give you my opening thoughts, and that would give you a nice basis on how you would play the, you know, some situations. But my general advice overall, you got the Battle Academy, you guys are trying to play just straight off the Pikachu and the Cinderace deck. I would not play this deck at all. It's unless one person is trying to teach the other person the TCG, then I think it's maybe fair at that exact point. But yeah, Eevee just doesn't, and I didn't even really realize this quite at first. Like, I've looked at these decks before, you know, especially before making the series, but I just for some reason forgot. Here, let's go with Hop first. I just forgot how weak overall this deck ended up looking to me. Alright, so Great Ball. Wow, 2 Great Balls and 2 EVVs. I'm telling you folks right now, that is very lucky. You're not going to get that very often, so I'm going to take it and run with it. I'm going to leave, like, this is my basic game plan because we can't really, once again, run this for that long. I'm going to run my, leave my Darkrai V just up there. It's going to get knocked out. However many turns it takes my opponent to get it knocked out, it's going to get knocked out. But what I am going to do is, why is I got this little check mark here? Or this little... This Pokemon's Brave Buddy's attack does more damage. Oh, because I played a supporting card. Understood. I am going to just attach and kind of like build it up so that when I am ready to fully utilize the Brave Buddy's attack, I am, you know, in position, because I won't need to worry about a switch. I won't need to worry about energy because I am already committed to sacrificing the Darkrai. So what I would do would be, you know, I used everything I can. I will pass, let my opponent do what they do, and then on my next turn, I will, you know, I'll show you one more turn. I'll go 2 turns into each test run just to give you the beginning foundation, because you kind of have to take it from there after that. I don't really have any ways to do full games. I do have friends that I can do, and I have actually a lot of codes for the Battle Academy. I saw someone on eBay was selling them for $1 a piece, and they had 9 of them, so I bought all 9. And I was like, alright, these would be cool to have. So I went ahead and got those, so I could send Battle Academy codes to someone if they wanted to do some test games. Let me know if that would be fun for you all. Or if you have the Battle Academy, we could do some test games. You know, we each play whatever deck, and that would be cool just to show some actual strategy, because I have my theory in strategy on, like, you know, what deck you will use to, on, let me rephrase, on how you would beat each deck with each deck. This is more of like the 3rd episode of how to optimize the deck in general, and so I'm just kind of showing you how I would optimize this deck against either or, but specific strategies against this or other level 1 decks if you folks want to play that way, because I think the Pokemon TCG has set up pretty nicely where you honestly can, I'm going to Shauna here and try, actually, you know what, I'll hop first this turn and then I'll Shauna. I think that's very important to do that in that order, because then next turn I can try to Shauna and get the switch out. So just for the simulation's sake, I guess we'll do a few more turns. I just want to see if I can get, I just want to see what I get off the Shauna, basically. Like, what do we get? Or we have to evolve first before you Shauna, because that won't be in your hand after the fact. But yeah, because we aren't able to really see, you know, too many actual instances. See, what I was hoping to get off the Shauna was a switch card so that I could switch the Darkrai into the Eevee and actually start attacking. But because we can't, I will now end the simulation and move on to, let's go like a 3rd and final one. But yeah, I think that would be the best way to actually do it, is to just find some people who either want to test run with me, do like a bunch of games, and I'll send you a code, let me know. Or if you already have the Battle Academy and you'd like to play some games, and we can do it that way, because I'm going to make one more episode on the Battle Academy, and it's going to basically be like part 1, 2, 3, you know, in the episode, like how to use Pikachu to beat both decks, how to use this to beat both decks, and specifically. But to actually get some footage of us doing that, oh, I should have put, see this, I'm talking in that thing, I should have put the Zorua out, because Zorua has 1 retreat cost, not the Zoroark, but that's okay, do what you can. I also didn't need to bench the Zorua. I could have waited till it was my turn, didn't matter, but yeah, so either way, I think I'm gonna move on from the Battle Academy soon as well. I kind of done what I wanted to do. I just thought it was really a shame that no one had made like many like videos really like about this kind of product and like how to, you know, do X, Y, and Z with it. So I am glad that I did that. But yeah, I'll probably move on to some theme decks after this to keep doing those. I had the I've already done the Necrozma's theme deck, the Laser Focus. I kind of already really did, in theory, an episode on the Rillaboom deck, but I will do a full breakdown of the Rillaboom deck to give my new student, Aubrey, shout out to KittenCatAubrey, for sitting in with a training session with me not too long ago. Check that video out. But I wanted to give her a video, let's see, Zoroark, to actually study in her kind of downtime. I think we're going to have to go for the self-damage here. And see, this is how like this deck can go. Like, I'm down to like nothing here, and I don't really got too much going for me now. I'm damaging myself and this and that. Ugh, it ain't easy. It ain't good. Wait, what just happened? I gotta look at this Pokemon next. What? This is so funny what we're doing here in this little simulation thing. But yeah, so I did the Rillaboom deck, I did the Necrozma deck, and I think the next one I want to do would be the Dragonite deck. But I'll do a full one on the Rillaboom, I think. So if this is episode 4, then maybe episode 5 or 6 will be on that, like actually breaking it down so that she can study that, because I would really like her to get better in our between sessions. Bugcatcher giving me giving me tails and not too much to work with. So I do have the switch card. I can always switch out if I need to. But honestly, just keep attacking at this point. And you know what? Let's end this video with a end of the simulation. Maybe we'll just knock out this last little thing here, this little Leo. And well, if the Poke Gods so have it, we'll put this up here. And if we get heads, we win. And if not, see, this is literally what this deck has come down to. Like, and we're just playing against a random whatever of you know, that not the ladder that the computer has to offer. And we barely beat that, so it's gonna be tough beating one of the V decks with this thing. But you know, I'm down to try. If someone wants to, like I said, get some games and let me know, I think that would be really cool. But yeah, that's really all I have to say about this deck. Overall, it lacks a lot of what I think the other two decks have, the Pikachu and the Cinderace. I just think they're overall more fun, and I would focus on those. But this was my breakdown of the Eevee V deck. From when this comes out, there should still be a few more days left on Free Card Giveaway 21, 36 booster packs available. We've got our August Discord for 8 booster packs, so over 40 available to win right now. So folks like giveaways and like free Pokemon cards, please go check those out. And yeah, that about does it for this episode. If folks have already seen everything else on my channel and you're out of content, then I would recommend going to check out our Poke Friend. We've got people doing giveaways, live streams, vlogs, cat videos, everything in between. So I would hit up everyone in my friends list. It's at the bottom of my channel, or the links are in the description. KittenCatAubrey, Pokemon Father and Son, Corp, Epic Eric, Aria Quinn Plays, and Amy on Go. I would highly recommend checking out all these folks. They make some amazing content, and they are some of my best friends in the Pokemon community. If you folks want to share your channel, let me know about it. We've got our Discord, which we're doing the giveaways in, but hop in, let us know. We've got a bunch of creators in there, people who just collect, hang out. It's always a fun time. And yeah, I don't have too much else for today. If you want to get down in some of those battles, let me know. I've got those codes available. I would be willing to give them out, but you know, you gotta be dedicated to, you know, put in some battles so that we can, you know, get some actual testing out of it. And yeah, if you already have the Battle Academy and you want to get some games in and you want to do it kind of like just as the decks are pre-built, let me know. I think that'd be pretty cool. But for next time, I think I'll be doing probably my wrap-up on the Battle Academy on like how to actually like beat specifically like this deck versus this deck and that deck versus that deck. You can only really do, you know, so many matchups, so I'll probably limit just to one video. And yeah, then we'll move on to the theme decks. But thank you all so much for helping me make this series. If I didn't have people watching, then it wouldn't be fun to make. So any questions, comments, anything, let me know. And so as always, thank you all, love you all, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.